This is the Morning Sports Desk for Wednesday, October 18th.
Hey, we've got a lot of stuff that we want to dive into here this morning. First of all, CJ, I hope you're doing well. Sorry for missing yesterday, but glad to be diving back into what is a strange Wednesday. It sneaks up on us every single year. It's a Friday night of football on a Wednesday night, of course, with MEA in front of us. Big football game tonight, correct?
Yeah, big one. Highway 10 rivalry, if you will. Staples, Motley Cardinals, Wadena, Deer Creek Wolverines.
So, is he ready to rock and roll on the line? We've got Tyler Grunwald joining us this morning. And for those that don't know Tyler, he calls all the action for the Staples Motley Cardinals over on our sister station all season long, AM 1430 and 98.5 FM, The Fan. Tyler, how are you this morning?
Hey, great. How are you guys doing this morning?
We're doing all right. Thanks so much. We want to talk about this game tonight and just preview what is going to be always a highly contested rivalry football game. First things first, it's been quite a season for the Staples Motley Cardinals after not winning a game a year ago. CJ and I like to do this thing called a vibe check every once in a while. Vibe check at the Staples Motley community must be pretty high this year in that football program.
Oh, it's been a completely huge turnaround over last season. New coaching staff coming in last year, not a lot of upperclassmen last year. And then this year, all those kids grew up another year. They spent a lot of time in the weight room in the off season. They really dedicated themselves to early mornings, coming in outside of their own practice times to come in and work out and just get stronger. And the team took a nice team building exercise by going to Jamestown to do a team camp in the summer. And that really seemed to boost the confidence of the players. And they've just been riding this wave, and the entire community, more people have been coming up to me lately saying, hey, I heard you on the radio. Hey, it's been sounding great. Go Cardinals. So the vibe is definitely high right now in Staples and Motley.
All right, what is the scouting report on the Staples Motley Cardinals team? What's something we can look forward to as football fans and seeing in a game like this tonight?
Well, my favorite package that the offense runs for the Cardinals is what they like to call the tank package. I call it the extra beefy package, but they call it
either name is great.
Yeah. Their senior lineman, Elijah Clausen, lines up as the quarterback in the shotgun position. He's got two linemen either side of him, and there's about 9 linemen on the field at the time and 2 running backs, and it's a straight up blocking and running up the middle and see who's going to win that line of scrimmage battle. And that's been it's been very effective all season long. Clausen's decision making at the line of scrimmage and trying to find where that hole is going to be, and then just hitting that hole hard and making nice yardage for a 250-plus pound lineman to be making the move that he makes at this level. It's kind of unreal, to be honest.
It's kind of funny, Tyler. The NFL, the new hot phrase in the NFL this year is the tush push, and it sounds like the Cardinals are bringing it to a whole extra level.
Oh, absolutely, and they've had the tush push as well, where Clausen will line up under center, and once in a while they'll give it to one of those other beefy backs that are in the backfield, and they'll rumble and stumble their way up the middle and hopefully get a yard or two for the Cardinals if you're on their side of the ball.
Tyler, we've got obviously on the other side of things, calling Cardinal games all year long on the Fan, but on the Superstation K106, CJ's had Wadena Deer Creek football all season long. So CJ will give you an opportunity here really quickly. What's the MO, the scouting report on the Wolverines as we get ready to close out the regular season?
Yeah, so for the Wolverines, obviously the calling card this season has been their defense. Last week against Breckenridge wasn't the score that they wanted, but typically that Wolverine defense has held opponents to 2 touchdowns or less through most of their games. It's been some low-scoring affairs that they've had through the most part of the season.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really been their defense that's kind of been their calling card this year. You look on offense, I mean, they still have those big play capabilities when you look at Teshi Lore, when you look at a couple of those other receivers. They've had Jager Pettit, and they've had his name escapes me. Nick Wright has had a really good and nice season for Wadena Deer Creek as well. They've had a little bit of issues, just some nicks and bruises throughout the season. Obviously, starting quarterback Josiah Kalvig missed a few games in the middle of the season. Teshi Lore had to move to quarterback. And so, they've kind of had to play out of the stretch here in a couple different points in the season. But that defense is still strong. I think that up front, you have guys like Grant Sealhammer who've had a really nice season. So that's kind of been the strength. And also, if you talk with Coach Petermeyer, he'll say his special teams unit has been much improved from the last couple of years. He thought they've just been cleaner. They've gotten a few big plays in the special teams game. And I thought whether it's been Teshi Lore or Josiah Kalvig punting, that they've done a pretty good job in terms of field position, trying to play that game the best they can. So, yeah, obviously, there's no beefy package like Staples Motley has, but that's what Wolverine football's been this year.
Okay, so before we go back to Tyler, then CJ, from your perspective, from the play-by-play booth, what are some things the Wolverines you think need to execute well to maybe see some success on their end tonight?
Well, I think it's got to be defense. I think you got to have another good game from the Wadena Deer Creek defense and have them. Obviously, they're going to have a lot of high schooler to take down in some of those packages and right. Some of those other things. But if they got to play a good defensive game, and they're probably gonna, with Staples Motley being a 5-1 team, you maybe got to win that turnover battle, maybe create one of those here and there. And if you're on offense, it's getting that sustained drive, being able to hold on to the ball and move the ball downfield. It's something that the Wolverines have wanted to get better at as the season has gone along, is getting those longer, 10-plus play, 60-yard drive, something like that, just getting a little bit better at that as the season's gone along. So if the Wolverines are able to do that and have a good defensive game, then that's the keys to victory for them.
Tyler, how about you from your perspective? What do the Cardinals need to do to see a little success tonight?
I think Staples Motley needs to control the line of scrimmage. I think if they can do that, they can take care of business. The line of the quarterback connection from Eli Rudden to Alex Schultz has been something to watch. They've had a lot of big one-play drives where it's just a toss up to number 4 and he goes down with the ball, breaks a couple tackles, and away he goes. Blake Nealon and Ben Terrell in the backfield have been dynamite all season long for the Cardinals. If they can continue to move the ball down the field, running behind that big offensive line that the Cardinals have, they should see some success defensively. It starts and stops with Luke Bjerga, the leading tackler, the sophomore. He's been an animal on the defense, sniffing out what the offenses have to offer. And big plays from kids like Noah Larson at defensive end and Sawyer Ferdon and Stephen Petrich. A lot of great plays by a lot of those all the defensive linemen have really been kind of looking like the Purple People Eaters, where it's just kind of which guy is up next making plays for the Cardinals on the defensive line.
So before I let you get out of here, you're a huge Miami Dolphins fan. Are you extra annoying to all your friends and family this fall, or is this just the best thing ever?
I'm trying to be respectful because it's been a lot of years of torture and torment, but I'm feeling pretty good about this year. Finally, this offense is as fun to watch as the greatest show on turf, the 99 Rams. I mean, with Tyreek's speed, when A-Chain's out and they still got Mostert going in there, they don't even have their best cornerback out there with Jalen Ramsey. He's still coming back. The potential for this team I got goosebumps right now just talking about it. So I'm pretty excited. I'm going to keep my expectations tempered somewhat, but it's been a good year so far. Let's see if they can finish it out though. And big game this Sunday night against the Eagles. Good measuring stick game.
We've got a fun kind of dual broadcast here this evening. It's Wadena Deer Creek at Staples Motley Football. CJ will have the call on 105.9 FM, the Superstation K106. You can hear Tyler on AM 1430 and 98.5 FM. The Fan. It's going to be a fun one this evening. Tyler, thanks so much for your time this morning.
Get back to it and have a great call tonight.
Thank you, guys. Have a good one.
So there we go.
Tyler Grunwald, who's been calling all of our Staples Motley football action on the Fan, joining us this morning for a little Cardinal breakdown. And
CJ Baumgartner, who's called the Wolverines action this fall with the Wadena Deer Creek breakdown. That's kind of fun, huh? To get a little insider perspective from the broadcast booth. That was neat.
We're gonna start trading secrets here. We're gonna get all the juicy deets right before kickoff. We're gonna have a meeting of the minds. We're gonna get that done. It's gonna be great.
You guys should have like a little side bet or something going on. You don't have to necessarily exchange cash, but there's got to be a jersey swap or a donuts or a ribeye or something on the line for this, right?
Look, if we should. Tyler's off the air now, so let's make a bet in his place while he's not here. If we should have a box of donuts or something like that, exchange offices or something like that. If depending on who wins, or we were talking about the software core, we should get like a traveling trophy or something. I don't know. We gotta figure something out.
That'd be sweet.
We gotta do something with this here. If anybody's got any ideas on their own Floyd of Rosedale or Little Brown Jug or Governor's Bell trophy, if you have your great idea, please send them to the radio station because we will definitely run with it. It can be whatever's in your pocket right now.
It's just an exchange of laundry money is all it is. You had volleyball last night, Wadena Deer Creek volleyball over Pillager. Wolverines wrap up, it's not a complete wrap on the regular season, but put a final bow on another Park Region Conference title, correct?
Yeah, Wadena Deer Creek beat Pillager 3-0 last night. They improved to, in the conference, they overall 7-0. For Wadena Deer Creek volleyball. It improves their regular season record to 16-7. But yeah, an undefeated season. They already did clinch an outright Park Region Conference title last week with the win over New York Mills, but this gave them an undefeated season in the PRC. And if we take a final look at the Park Region Conference standings, Wadena Deer Creek had a 7-0 record in the conference. Verndale and Sabika both 5-2. Henning 4-3. New York Mills and Bertha Hewitt both 3-4. Monaga 1-6. Pillager 0-7. That's your final Park Region Conference standings for the 2023 volleyball season.
Should mention, obviously, next week the playoffs officially begin around the state. There'll be some pigtail games around the region on Monday. Of course, playoff football on Tuesday. And then we're talking playoff volleyball around the area Wednesday, Thursday, Friday next week with more playoff football on Saturday. We're going to let the seedings kind of work themselves out throughout the rest of this week. And we'll put a plan together on Monday. But it's officially go time for, on Wednesday morning, by this time next week, half the football teams in the state are done.
Crazy.
It happens really, really quickly. This MEA thing happens really quickly. I'll be honest with you, and we'll give a little time to maybe wrap this whole thing up. But it's going to be hilarious to see you tomorrow morning because it's going to be Thursday morning and you're going to wake up in Saturday mode wondering why your alarm went off.
Yeah.
You're just going to be a wreck for 2 days. I hope you're prepared for that.
I'm going to wake up in the morning and be like, oh, who set my alarm on a weekend? I'm like, oh, wait. Or I'm going to wake up at like 9 o'clock and be like, oh, man, I feel so well rested. And there's like 5 missed calls from you and Dan. It's like,
What would you be more offended by on Thursday morning? Like 50 missed calls or 0 missed calls?
If we're just going in the case of like, if I screwed up, I would say I'd probably be least offended by the 0 calls because then it's like, okay, cool. No harm, no foul. I'll come in on Friday and we'll,
there's no like, oh, they must not care at all. I think if you end up sleeping in on Thursday, the two of us will be like, oh, that little tyke must have needed his sleep. You know what I mean? Which is very condescending.
It is, but if you give me an extra day of sleep and a day off, then you can condescend to me all you want.
Once again, Wadena Deer Creek at Staples Motley football tonight. We should mention it's an hour earlier than usual, a 5:40 pregame with a 6 o'clock kickoff on 105.9 FM, the Superstation K106, obviously the Superstation K106 app and WadenaRadio.com. It will also be on AM 1430 and 98.5 FM, The Fan.
The Fan. This has been the Morning Sports Desk for Wednesday, October 18th. It's 7:31 on KWAD. Here's MNN News.
Minnesota News Network, I'm Brent Palm. Community activists will demand prosecutors charge